I'm Rowena, and this is FYI with Rowena. I love to talk to everyday people, people who will empower, inspire, educate, and entertain you. With me this morning is a world-renowned artist, completely self-taught. He is one of the most collected photographers in the world. His mastery in the field of photography is recognized worldwide, with over 35 million images sold. I am a huge fan of his work. I am honored to welcome William Carr to the show. How are you, William?
I'm fine, thank you, Rowena.
Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
Now, you're self-taught. What made you, when did you want to be a photographer?
Well, you know, I didn't really aspire to be a photographer. I didn't want to be a photographer. I was actually living in Lake Tahoe at the time, and I was in high-pressure sales. Knew nothing about photography at all. My wife at the time had a little 35 millimeter camera that she acquired, a little Olympus OM1, which was a auto everything camera. And being in high pressure sales is kind of great to, and Tahoe, you know, doesn't get any better than that in terms of beauty.
With the nature, I love the nature there.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous landscape.
And I was into hiking, doing a lot of hiking, so I grabbed the camera one day and took it down around the shores of Lake Tahoe and started kind of creeping around and looking at, you know, different vantages and put the camera up. And of course, you got to remember to take the lens cap off, which is, you know, photography 101.
Yes.
And started, you know, shooting a little bit and capturing some images, and then I processed them and I looked at them and I went, oh, these are kind of cool, and kind of started getting the zeal for that. And so I would start doing it more and going into different locations and some waterfalls and things like that, and started amassing a bit of a small portfolio of imagery. And you know, then I would show them to people like on slideshows on my wall in my house and put a little bit of music to it as well. And people go, oh, you have a good eye. And, you know, at the time I didn't really know what that meant. And it's like, oh, well, thank you. And
that's a gift that you have.
Well,
Yes.
So they say.
Las Vegas, the Art Nouveau capital of America and destination to renowned modern master of photography, William Carr, and his premier gallery, World Focus Images.
When I first laid eyes on William Carr's work, I was immediately struck by the quality they had of being global.
From the breathtaking natural wonders to the magnificent antiquities from around the world.
What William does is he creates an environment, he creates a moment that can change someone's lifestyle.
These pieces are forever. You have a piece of magic in your hands. Once again, they come alive. And that's to the credit of this incredible talent, William Carr.
A natural-born musician and photographer, William Carr is no less a Renaissance man. He is a virtuoso of his craft, and his muse is creating images that embrace your emotions.
It's interesting to see that when they come into the gallery, someone will gravitate toward a particular image, and there will be an emotional connection. That is the magic that happens.
I think they have a real affinity for the work because it's very personal. They see something personal in it. They've been to that city in France, so they've been to that city in Italy. They've been to the Grand Canyon. It mirrors experiences that they've had that are universal, I think.
William Carr's images speak in silence and leave an indelible imprint on art collectors and aficionados alike.
And it is amazing. People walk into the gallery and they refer to all the works of art as paintings.
I don't think there's any other photographer who has the same sensibilities with color that William has. And his attention to detail is what makes the work look like paintings. So he really has a brushstroke quality to a lot of it. I think people find them seductive in a way, especially when you lower the lights in your own home and the paintings start to come forward towards you and glow. They become very personal.
William Carr's modus operandi is art and quality are inseparable. None of his limited edition masterpieces are released without the watchful eye of this modern master of photography.
We're in the production facility here in World Focus Images, and this is where a lot of the magic happens.
His proprietary technique of museum archiving ensures the quality of his images.
That encapsulation process seals that image away from air, dust, moisture, mildew, and the biggest enemy of art, time.
What happens in Vegas is timeless at World Focus Images.
Where I go from here is the hope that I can continue to find more and more beauty within our world that brings tears to people's eyes.
William Carr, modern master of fine art photography.
I mean, I've seen your work, and I am so in awe of what you do. It's like, it's surreal. It equates to like a painting, right?
In a way.
What inspires you to do photography?
Well, it becomes a bit of an obsession and an addiction as well. And sometimes I use the analogy, a miner looking for gold. And he will pickaxe away at hillsides and create, caves and eventually they'll strike gold, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's something of value, and that quest and that energy that goes into that mining effort pays off with a nugget or two or whatever they end up getting from that. And I use that as an analogy sometimes to photography, because a lot of times you go out and you don't get anything, and there is a tremendous amount of struggle and persistence when it comes to the capturing the better imagery. And once you do, you come away with something spectacular. That's the reward.
Yeah, you seem to have a very impressive European portfolio.
Yeah.
Why Europe?
The interesting thing about Europe is that it really resonates with people in terms of, first of all, what you learn in school in history about Europe.
Right.
And, you learn those things from a book and from photography that you see and things like that. But until you're actually there and you're literally standing in the place where kings and queens and princes actually stood, the Medici family,
A lot of history and culture there.
Absolutely. Standing in the same footsteps as those types of people really gives you that sense of what it's like for me as a photographer. But and then capturing that type of imagery, bringing it back to the public, and having the public be able to see it and enjoy it, is that's where the reward really is.
Now, what is your creative process when you're doing this?
The creative process really
Where does it come
is,
from?
in a sense, a lack of a creative process. And it's funny because, the camera is a mechanical tool. But, when you really become seasoned as a photographer and you really start knowing what you're looking for and what you're capturing, the camera can be, in a sense, a paintbrush. And you can literally, with broad brush strokes, capture an image that gives it that painterly quality with, the soft, moody lights of the happy hour of sunset and sunrise and overcast days, and really be able to get that saturated color, and it's a colorful world out there.
Right.
So the more color that you can capture, the better it really is.
Now, you started Euroflex. Can you explain to us what that is?
Well, Euroflex encapsulation is a process by which we take really the Rolls Royce of photographic printing papers. And it's actually, paper is a misnomer. It's not a paper at all. It's a poly-based material. And we developed a process by which we literally face mount the photographic image to a piece of high-impact acrylic. The acrylic has substantial UV inhibitors built into it for color longevity. And it really took photography to a new level of how you display the photography. You don't need glass or plastic over the image to protect the emulsion anymore. It's really a beautiful presentation, gives it almost that flat screen TV kind of a look.
Now, for aspiring traveling photographers, they want to do world traveling, what advice would you give them?
Jump on an airplane and go.
And just go. Now, if anyone wants to see your work, is there a website they can visit? I know you have two galleries in Las Vegas. You have one at the Palazzo and
That's
you
correct.
have one at Town Square.
That's correct, yeah.
And
Yeah.
is there a website? That they can-
WilliamCarrGallery.com.
And we
for the
have,
website.
we also have, we want to announce next week that we have a contest that you would like the viewers to participate in, where they can take pictures with their iPhone
Right.
and send us a copy of the pictures, and we'll choose 3 winners, and they can go on expedition with you,
Right.
or exploration with you.
Yeah, we go on a
Adventure.
on a couple hours shooting trip here locally, and we can we can give some tips and advice to people. But I think Orlando will tell you a little bit about
Yes,
about
next-
that next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here, William. I am so
Absolutely.
honored that you can be here.
you.
And we'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
My next guest, William Bathini, Chef William, as he's famously known, is the owner of Paradise India. He specializes in gourmet Indian food catering to a more sophisticated palate. I'd like to welcome Chef William to the show. Chef William, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Rowena?
Thank you for being here. Now, tell us about your restaurant. Tell me about yourself first. You just moved here from DC, right?
Yes, it's been 4 months now in Vegas.
How do you like Las Vegas?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
I'm liking it.
And you had restaurants in Washington, D.C., in Oklahoma, Florida, and then here in Las Vegas, right?
Yes, this is my 4th restaurant.
And tell me, you had the basketball players come to your restaurant?
Thunder players, Kevin Durant, Ibaka, and Steven Adams. They love my lamb chops.
Your lamb chops is world class. It melts in your mouth. I mean, I've been to your restaurant. We had all your food is amazing. It's just spectacular. And your presentation is amazing as well. Now, why Las Vegas? Why did you choose Las Vegas?
Well, I was here last year vacationing. I tried few Indian restaurants. They were packed. And Vegas is the hub for the food industry. Then I decided maybe I should come and bring my skills to Vegas. And that's why I'm here.
Now, your restaurant, you're doing something different with it. You're going to have like Latin nights and salsa nights and all that. So it's a more modernized Indian restaurant.
That's right.
Would that be safe to say?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a 3-concept restaurant. It's Indian food, fresh fruit juices, pastries, and I also have the pub,
Yeah.
which is going to be a lounge in the nights.
Yeah, and you have a pastry chef from France. Tell us about him.
Well, he worked in my previous restaurant. We used to do the pastries. He's very artistic. His pastries are amazing. Keeping the casinos in mind, I brought him here because most of the casinos are interested in our pastries.
Now, what do you serve in your restaurant? Because I know you also serve Persian food, Indo-Chinese, and the Indian cuisine, right?
Well, I'm a trained chef, so
Yes.
I actually concentrate on each region. I go deep into the regions of India where it's more flavorful. So I do the Indo-Chinese, I do fusion food, I do South and the North.
You can tell that you're a trained chef because you can tell the difference because the way you present your food and the The taste of your food is just amazing. Now, you had, what would you like the customers to know about your restaurant?
I do vegan, which is really popular now. The people are more interested in vegan food, gluten-free. I serve all that, and my food is well balanced. I'm a healthy guy, so
You actually don't see this because of the beautiful outfit that he's wearing. That's actually beautiful, by the way.
thank you.
But William is pretty buff. He works out. And so you're health conscious, and your food, it reflects on the food that you cook.
Right.
Right?
I concentrate on the diet plan, which is very well balanced. So you'll see a chicken breast, lamb chops with the veggies around it. So
It's like
very,
your presentation is like going to a French restaurant, but it's actually like it's an Indian restaurant. It's a gourmet Indian food. So what makes your food unique? Tell us. The health.
well, as we know that Indian food has layers of flavors, versus if you go to the Western food, it's just one layer. You order an Italian, it's just one layer of flavor.
Right, because they use the same sauce.
Indian
right?
has eruption of flavors. It's like so many flavors. So I maintain the flavors. At the same time, the presentation is creative because we see with our eyes first.
Now, you have great reviews because I've seen the reviews on Yelp. So if they want to try your food, is there a website they can go to?
It's paradiseindia1.com.
And you also have the Facebook. They can find you on Facebook. You have and Twitter and all the social media. Well, thank you so much for being here today, William. And looking forward to going back to your restaurant and trying your food, and looking forward to the stuff that you're doing in your restaurant.
Thank you for having me on your show.
You're
It's a
welcome.
pleasure.
We are going to have fun with my next guest. He is the president and founder of Slim Chillers, the creators of Skinny Freezers, 100-calorie frozen vodka martinis, and Blenderfuls, 0-calorie, sugar-free, pouch frozen. That's a mouthful. But before I bring him in here, let's check this out. I'd like to welcome my last guest to the show, Mr. Phil Hurley. Phil, how are you?
Great. It's good to see you, by the way.
Good to see you
I had a chance to get one of
too.
these when I first got here.
Yes, it's great to have you here.
So it's great to be here. Actually,
Yes,
it's a lot
so-
of fun. You guys make it really, really fun. So.
Oh, thank you. So tell us about the Slim Chillers. What is all these?
Well, Slim Chillers, by and large, we're a cocktail company, but we kind of specialize in low-calorie frozen cocktails and cocktail mixes. The birth of this whole thing came about when, as luck would have it, I kind of like frozen cocktails. So that's kind of my deal. But I don't like all the pesky calories that come with them. So we came out with something that we feel hadn't really been done before, which is a low-calorie frozen otter pop of sorts. Basically popsicle for adults.
You were doing physical fitness before. What got you into this?
You
into
know,
the alcohol business?
Actually, I've been doing product formulations and mostly packaging, believe it or not, for other people. And at the end of the day, it just kind of morphed into this thing where I decided I wanted to start developing other products. And alcohol seemed to be, I don't know if it was a natural transition, but it was a fun transition nonetheless.
So why low calorie? Explain to me what is 100 calorie. How do you know it's 100 calorie?
Well, actually, when we developed the product, we developed it purposely to be 100 calories. Something like this might typically be closer to a 200 to 300 calorie item. We wanted to come out with a lower calorie item because, again,
there have been a lot of people lately that have just been kind of clamoring towards and grasping onto things that are lower calorie and better for them. The problem has always been that most of the stuff just tastes horrible, or it tastes like toenails, basically.
Oh yeah,
Right? So
yeah. I've tried some of them. So what are these? Tell us what these different flavors are and what you're gonna do. You're gonna do some mixes for us
we
here
are.
today.
We are. This is
It's gonna be
actually
fun.
this is the 100-calorie vodka martini skinny freezer. Yeah, it's a mouthful. It's our flagship item. It's basically an otter pop for grown-ups, grown-up popsicle. It's vodka-based, 8 times distilled, triple charcoal filtered, 8% alcohol by volume, and it's available in the 3 classic martini flavors of Cosmo, Apple Teeny, Lemon Drop, and our own signature flavor of the watermelon lemonade,
I
which
love
you
that.
just picked up. Yeah, it's incredible. It's actually my favorite flavor. So
And you're everywhere. You're at Lee's Liquors. You're everywhere.
we are. We're in some 7-Elevens uptown, and we're at we're all the Lee's stores. We're, believe it or not, we're even poolside at the Golden Nugget. Binion's has us out on Fremont Street, along with the Four Queens as well, all ready to go, frozen and ready to go.
Now,
So,
what kind of responses are you getting?
you know, I got to tell you, that's one of the things that really keeps me motivated is the response to the product. I mean, again, we really push the 100-calorie thing, but the reality is most people could care less because once they try the product, they just seem to keep coming back and coming back. So for the flavor alone, I guess.
This is amazing. What is your motivation behind this? What compelled you to do this?
You know, again, I really wanted to come out with something that was different. I didn't want to get in line behind everybody else that had been doing, again, rums, vodkas, tequilas, and so forth. So we wanted to do something different. And again, we really wanted to do something with vodka because after doing some research, we had realized that 27% of all spirits consumed in the U.S. was vodka-based. So we thought, instead of coming out with a daiquiri or a frozen margarita ready to go, let's try something different. So we came out with a vodka martini, a frozen vodka martini.
Now, so tell us what you're going to do here. You're going to do some mixes,
Well,
and
actually,
we're going to get drunk in the
yeah,
studio.
well, actually, these are ready to go. These are fun. I'm actually going to have one of these while we're talking, if it's
Okay.
okay. But again, Otter Pops for grown-ups. We also have another item, believe it or not.
See,
It's
I would
called-
try it, but I don't drink alcohol.
I'm drinking yours for you, my breakfast, by the way, which is great. We have another item. It's called Blenderfuls. Now, Blenderfuls has no alcohol in it. It's a shelf-stable, concentrated mix in a pouch.
Okay. So you mix that with alcohol.
You absolutely mix it with alcohol and ice. It needs to be diluted. But again, Blenderfuls, when blended with 5 cups of ice, 5 shots of your favorite spirit, makes a 52-ounce blender full of frozen cocktails. All sugar-free, all zero carb, all low calorie. So that I'm going to do now, if that's okay. So
Here, let me hang on to that.
I thought that might be kind of fun.
So we're going to have some fun
For today's
here.
show, we're going to do something different. This is one of my favorite cocktails. Believe it or not, we use our pomegranate mix with a coconut rum. So what you basically end up getting is a pomegranate coconut frozen daiquiri.
Wow. And those are all natural, right?
Well, not entirely natural, because in order to get fully natural flavors, it makes it a little difficult. Because quite honestly, you wouldn't be able to get the flavor concentrate to a point where you'd be able to yield out any kind of real flavor, a decent flavor profile. So again, I'm going to save the time of doing 5 separate shots and just do the 7.5 ounces of alcohol.
Now you do, I see you do this at different events and functions and everything.
Yep.
So, and you also have a portable bus that you go around.
We actually
with?
have an ice cream truck, a
ice cream-
1972 Grumman ice cream truck that we converted. It's basically an adult ice cream truck. Caution adults playing. We do events all over town. We've been doing events at, again, a lot of the Lee's tastings. And anytime you see a tasting pop up, you just need to come by and say hi. It's just a lot of fun.
This is going to be fun. So we're going to be, Cynthia, you want to have some drink? We'll pass
Yeah,
one to
somebody's
you.
going to have to help me drink these.
Yes.
I can't be the only person drinking these, by the way. So very simple. We actually take a lot of the guesswork out of it.
So it's like a strawberry daiquiri.
What's that?
It looks like a strawberry daiquiri.
Yeah, this one's actually going to be, this is a daiquiri, but it's going to be a pomegranate coconut. We have a strawberry flavor as well. We have a peach mango. We have an original. And actually of all 4 flavors, pomegranate seems to be kind of my favorite. So
Here, let me pass this here. You go. Tell us How you like it?
I'm going to join you actually because
So this is an alcohol mixed with
the mix
That's it.
itself has no alcohol in it.
Okay.
It's concentrated, sugar-free, 0 calorie. You have to add the alcohol. It's completely shelf stable, so don't put the pouches in the freezer. Just, again, dump it in a blender, minus the pouch, of course. 5 cups of ice, 5 shots of your favorite spirit. In this case, we used a coconut rum, which,
Okay.
again, gave us a pomegranate coconut.
so
daiquiri.
these stays in the fridge and these are in the freezer.
These actually are completely shelf stable. You just leave them
Okay.
in the cupboard
Oh,
someplace,
okay.
or in the back of
Okay.
your car in my case. But again, they're designed as a margarita mix. They're incredible with tequila. So, and again, designed with tequila in mind. But again, do this for a few years, you start coming up with all kinds of neat flavors. I mean, we've got coconut vodkas. We did an orange rum with our pomegranate that's incredible. We've had people call us back and call us in and said, we actually did an apple vodka with your strawberry and came up with the most incredible strawberry apple frozen vodka cocktail. Say that 5 times real fast, by the way.
That's
So
a mouthful.
it's just been a lot of fun.
Now, is Las Vegas your home now?
It is. We put it all together in California, and we came out here for a variety of reasons because, truthfully, we were doing a lot more business out here, and there were more events, and you just get tired of dragging a 7,000-pound ice cream truck back and
See,
forth, I think.
Bill has been my longtime friend. He's been a friend of mine for almost 10 years now, right? Yes.
I think since,
Yes.
2009.
Yes. And so I'm so glad that you can make it today and
Thank you.
show
Thank you
us
for
what
having
you do.
me. This has been a lot of fun.
And I know that you're very successful at this and you're at different events, and I wish you more success in the future.
Oh, thank you so much. And again, if anybody wants to find out where we're at, where we're going,
Yes.
what events we're doing, you can just go to our website at slimchillers.com or follow us on Facebook at
And
Slim
you're all
Chillers
over
as well.
Facebook.
We're kind of all over Facebook. And again, we always promote the events that we're at, because we just like to see everybody and it just make it a lot of fun.
And you have a lot of celebrities buying your stuff too.
You know what? I think overall, people in general, that once they try it, we seem to get a lot of people coming back. So, and it's just, yep, there's been some of those as well. Erin Murphy, the girl that played Tabitha on the original Bewitched,
Yes.
yeah, she's actually a part of the company. She's one of our girls.
And the girl from the movie Borat.
Oh,
She
yeah,
loves
yeah, yeah.
your stuff.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. So we've had some real positive feedback from some incredible people, and like I said, and on occasion we'll have Tabitha, Erin Murphy at the events, and you can come out and meet her as well. So
Oh,
lots of
fun. Thank you so much for being here. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you. Always great. Lots of fun. Great seeing you.
You too.
Cheers.
That was a great show. I'd like to thank all my guests. Until next time, see you at FYI with Rowena.